Welcome. This demonstration will show you how to use a grading form in Blackboard CE8, where grading forms are used to make the entire grading process more efficient. I myself, in my experience, save about 60% of the time that I used to incur to grade student assignments or discussion postings versus what I do now incur in using these grading forms. Now, to use the grading form process, you need to back up and make sure you start back in the build process when you were setting up your site that you in fact created some grading forms, and that's done down here in the bottom left hand corner under the build mode. Under grading forms, you can create a grading form by clicking on this link and give it a title, and depending on how your rubric is laid out, you can have as many columns as you'd like. The default is for 3 columns, and you can have as many pieces of criteria that you want. You edit them with these pencils, and you put descriptions in these boxes, and you assign point values as to what they've earned for that specific criteria, either needing improvement, meeting expectations, or exceptional. And then the total accumulated points would appear in the bottom right hand corner automatically by the system as you assign the point values. Now let's see what that looks like in a completed form. I have one here for discussion posting feedback. If I open that form, you can see I have given it a title. I have 4 criteria areas that I've listed on the left, and I have stuck with the 3 columns and assigned point values to each of the points columns, depending on whether they met all the requirements or did not. And the total maximum value is 2 points in the bottom right hand corner. Once these forms have been set up, you can use them for 2 types of situations in Blackboard CE8. You can use a grading form and attach it to an assignment in Blackboard, or you can attach it to a discussion posting that's been set up for grading in Blackboard. Now, once these grading forms have been completed, they can now be used as you create the assignments and the discussions. So here happens to be a discussion topic that I created that would be in my category of graded discussions. If I go into the Edit Properties function, I can see what settings that I used. Of course, the description for the actual assignment of the discussion posting is up in this upper section. But as you scroll down, you can see in the grading section that I have selected the option to grade by grading form and have selected the discussion feedback form that you just saw a moment ago. I've also said that the results of the grade should be posted in a gradebook column in the gradebook called DISC1. I've kept that brief so the column headings do not get too long. And very importantly, you need to check the box that releases the grade to the students after you have prepared the feedback for them. So that is all a part of setting up the original discussion posting, and once you've saved that, it will connect that grading form to the discussion item. Similarly, under assignments, you can see if I go into Edit Properties for the assignment that was set up in this example, as I scroll down to a section called Grading, you can see that the gradebook column there was called Assign 1, that I did check the box to release the grades to the students, and I did select Grade by Grading Form in the name of the form that for the assignments. So the point values of the grading forms, as well as the specific grading form that's been customized to the assignment or to the discussion feedback, will be linked now to these topics that I've set up in the discussions and the grading. That's done in the build process. Now, once the course starts underway, you go to the Teach function under the Teach mode, and under the Teach mode you will find that you can now, as the students make their postings, for example, if I go to discussions, I can see that I have 3 postings to that particular topic that has the grading form set up. Under the Teach mode, if I select the down arrow next to the discussion topic, there is an option for grading the topic. If I click on Grade Topic, it will give me a split screen. On the right hand side, it will, especially at the bottom, you will see that all the students that have posted discussion items are listed, and it gives me an overview of the activity that they've had. For example, in this case, Abe Lincoln has one new message that was posted, but has not posted any replies. George Washington, on the other hand, has posted a message and has posted a reply. So George looks like he might be ready for grading. So if he is, I will click on the down arrow next to George's name. I will view his student posts. Again, it's all in the right hand window. And as many postings as George has made for this given topic will be listed here. Here's his first post where he has responded to the requirements of the posting. And then his response post is right below it, where he's given some feedback to Abe. Now you, as the instructor, would review the contents that you see posted here, and when you have an overall impression of how you'd like that topic to be graded, you then go over to the left side where George's name is listed, and you click on Complete Grading Form. At that point, you would then go down using the criteria, and you would indicate how George did on the topic. Now in George's case, he did very well, except his writing quality was a little bit shy, so we'll knock him down one there. But he seems to have done well in all the other areas, so his total points is 1.75 out of 2. I can then make some overall comments here that says great job, or whatever you want to post there, and then save that. Once I save it, if I look to the left, you'll see that the link that said Complete Grading Form previously now says View Grade. So if I click on that link, I can see that what my selections were from the grading form itself have now been highlighted, so that George will see exactly what I selected in terms of the feedback I wanted to provide him, and he will also have my overall comments at the bottom. Now, I'll show you in a moment where that information is conveyed back to the students. But before we do that, that completes how you would complete the use the grading form to complete feedback for discussions. Now let's see how it looks for assignments. It looks a little different. We go into assignments. You'll see all of your assignments listed here. Again, you're in the teach mode. And when you click the down arrow, this time you want to view submissions. So you'll see a listing of all your submissions. Here's a listing of all the students. If you look in the status column, you'll see that if there are assignments that have been submitted, it will be a status of submitted, and on others it could be not started. So once you see a submitted one, you click on the assignment itself, and it opens up a window for you to be able to provide feedback and to actually see what was submitted. In this case here, George submitted an Excel file, the .xls demo 6-1.xls file. I can click on that and download it to my computer. I can then open it up and I can insert comments in that file and save it. And then that way I've provided detailed feedback for George so that he'll understand where I'm coming from with my overall comments. Now, I could have two situations with George. Perhaps George only completed portion of the assignment and I want to send it back to him for him to do further work or to edit something. I can put comments in this box right here, and I can indicate to George, please complete section B, for example, and I can attach below here, I can add an attachment of my commented file that I received from George earlier. And then I would just click the button down here that says Return to Student for further editing. And then once I save, that will send the file that I've attached back to George for his comments and completion, and then he can resubmit it, and I would start the cycle over again and go back and review his resubmitted file. Now, if in fact George's file was in good shape and I felt that he had done a complete job, even though I had maybe had some feedback for him, I would then proceed to providing him the full feedback using the grading form, which is the third option here. So I would click on complete the grading form, and similar to what I did for the discussion posting, I would click on the appropriate ratings. In this case, this is a two-part solution for an exercise, but you can have as many criteria or as many performance indicators as you'd like, and then the total points would be here. In this case here, I will provide George with exceptional feedback, so he gets 6 out of 6, and I'll tell him that excellent work, and I will save that. Okay. And now once I've saved that, I'm not done, because I need to now select the button at the bottom that says return the graded submission to the students and save it. And once I've done that, you will see that the screen that previously said submitted now says graded, and so George's assignment has been graded and it has been returned to him. Now once we see what the assignments are done, I can then show you what George would look like if he were to log in. And George should not have done this, but he gave me his login and password, allowing me to share this with you. And I think he only did that because today is President's Day, and he was very accommodating to allow me to see what his system looks like. So we will go into the same course that we just left, and we are now in George's role. And now if I go into the My Grades chart for George, I will see the feedback that I sent to George. He will be able to see under his assignment, he can view the grading form, and he can see the comments that I made as well as the sheet that I sent him. And I can do the same thing for discussions and see what the feedback is there. This tool provides an increased consistency in the feedback that you give to the students, as well as saves you an enormous amount of time in using the tools. I hope this has been helpful.